hello, and welcome to Drop TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. You can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I loves me some tea. Her. I am currently sipping on the last of my orange soda from McDonald's because it was the one place that was open and I can pick something up really quick. But I also do have my water because hydration is important. And I have my cup mug. Uh-huh. And since I am alone, and it's me, we do have a panel full of cup mugs, a panel full of cup mugs. Uh, 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 uh. Yes. And you can get your cup mug at, or any of our beautiful cup merch, actually, at LanaGsCreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below, and we do ship internationally and domestically here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, so there are no excuses. Get your merch. Um, we're back with another show. Hello. Hello. Are we actually doing this? Yes, we are. We actually are doing this. We are back with the newest reality competition show, Battle Camp on Netflix. And it's a cute 10 episode 10 episode, I think. Yeah, it's a cute 10 episodes. So we're gonna cover it here on the cup, of course, because that's what we do. And honestly, I'm gonna say, after watching these first two and maybe three and four, I'm liking the show. I think it's a good concept. It gives me good reminders of um the Disney World or the Disney Channel, like, can't Disney Channel games. A little bit of that was the Netflix games with, with the grown-ups and different reality personalities from different shows on Netflix. We got people from The Circle, people from Too Hot to Handle, Cheer, um, Squid Games, The Challenge, The Ultimatum, Love is Blind, all different people from all different shows on Netflix. So it's like the Disney Channel games, but for Netflix. So, and it's interesting. It's not a whole lot of like, oh, thinking that has to be involved. It's just a fun show, and I'm enjoying the format of it and just the lightness of it and the funness of it. And so, yeah, I'm enjoying it. And I'm gonna talk all about it. But before we do, y'all know what to do. If you're new to this channel and this is your first time checking us out and checking me out, hey, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. We really, really appreciate you taking the time to join us. But we here at the Cup Network and the Cup TV especially, no, we're on a mission to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. And we are trying very, very hard to give you all the quality content that we can give you about all the shows that we can give you, and like I said, we're a part of a network, so we don't just have here at the Cup TV. But if you just want to subscribe here, please do that. Do that, please, and thank you. But if you are a fan of drag or drag race, we have a channel for you at the Cup Pod, where we just wrapped up season 17. We're getting ready to jump into All Stars 10. We have more morbid drags. If you are a fan of horror drag, and from what I can see, we got a lot of drag coming up soon enough, so that channel is never going to be without content. And if you are a fan of Eurovision Song Contest, it's heating up over there because the competition is in full swing now, and we're about to get to the finals and all of that. So a new Eurovision champion will be crowned. So they have content coming out on that channel constantly. So you want to check that out if that's your dream. And if you're a fan of WWE wrestling, we have a channel for you at the Cup ringside. We just wrapped up WrestleMania season, and now we're about to go into Backlash, which is like almost 2 weeks away from 3 weeks away from now, whatever. But it's coming very soon, so we're going to be talking about all of that. So if that's your gig, check us out at the Cup ringside. We have something for everybody, so check out the Cup Network, click and subscribe and help us out because once we hit 1,000 subscribers, a lot of fun things unlocked that we could do more on this channel, and we would really, really appreciate it if you would join us. So thanks so much. So help us out. Subscribe, subscribe. Also, if you need to listen to us, oh, by the way, I'm telling you, subscribe and subscribe to those other channels. All those links will be in the description below. Yeah, I almost forgot that. Um, Also, check out our audio podcast link is down in the description below if you need to check us out on the go. Also, our Patreon links are down there, so you can check out our Patreon, get early access, exclusive content, and some behind the scenes things. So check out all of that out. We will really appreciate you. All right, let's get into Battle Camp. We're going to talk about episodes 1 and 2. And since it's just me, I'm going to get through this as quickly as possible, but all the information that you need. If you haven't checked out the show, you should do that because it's actually a really good show. I enjoyed watching it. It didn't feel like the hour goes by so quickly because it's that entertaining. So I say, if you haven't checked it out, you should definitely go check it out and then come check me out talking about it. And we'll be doing that this week. Our schedule for this week is for this show is we're gonna be recording every day this week up to from today till Tuesday. So you will see the recordings out Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You will get a new episode of Battle Camp. So we're gonna do 1 and 2 today, 3 and 4 tomorrow, 5 and 6 on Sunday, 7 and 8 Monday, 9 and 10 on Tuesday. So I hope you're ready. Strap in. And it's gonna be other people gonna be joining me. It's not just gonna be me the entire time. But things happen and so we had to just get in where we fit in with this one, but definitely want to get in. And also you definitely want to stay and subscribe to this channel because we are going to have a lot of more fun, exciting things coming up. Um this this next month. You definitely want to be join us. And so when new shows are starting, we're losing some shows and we're gaining some new shows. We're still doing Survivor, we're doing Amazing Race, we're going to have Battle Camp, of course. And then Destination X is coming out. And we're going to be covering that. When that happens, Love Island, when that happens, Love Island Games, when that happens, even the Love Island Beyond the Villa, which is the spinoff from Island season 6. I don't know how we're going to cover that because it's not really a competitive reality show, but because we so heavily covered season 6, we definitely and fell in love with the cast of season 6. We definitely want to figure out what they're doing beyond the villa. So we're gonna watch it and we're gonna talk about it. So make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't done it already. Now, enough talking about all the stuff. And I know it took an extra long time to get past all of this. I'm sorry. I will shorten it up next time, I promise. But let's get into Battle Camp. Episode 1. So we find out that there are going to be 3 teams of 4, and they are coming in on their own separate buses. We have the Wolves, the Bears, and the Eagles. So for the Eagles team, we have Tony from The Mole. We have Lorenzo from Squid Games: The Challenge. We have Lexi from The Ultimatum, and we have Georgia from Too Hot to Handle and Perfect Match. And I'm going to just bring these people up so you know who I'm talking about. Um, yeah, these are the people who I'm talking about. And So you'll see that there's people on here who I'm not going to talk about right away because the format is some people will leave and some people will replace them. So we're going to have people coming in and out throughout the series. Um, but that's team one. The Eagles, Tony, Lorenzo, Lexi, and Georgia. For the Wolves, we had uh, Louis from Too Hot to Handle, Trey from Squid Games, The Challenge, Arena from Love is Blind, and Gabby from Cheer. One of the funny things is on the way on the bus ride in, which of course I feel like the producers told them to ask, and of course this was the answer. But I think Gabby asked Trey who he didn't want to see from his show, and he was like, "Oh, just there's this one guy, Lorenzo. I would want to see him." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, sure." The producers made you say Lorenzo because Lorenzo's there, and we got the nice awkward, "Oh, hey, Lorenzo, how you doing? Hey." Yeah, when they got off the bus and saw each other, so I thought that was kind of funny. And for the Bears, we have QT from the Circle, Subong from the Circle, Geo from what's this? I can't remember. It says right here, but I can't see it. Can't see what that says. It's like a I don't know what that is. It's something sunset. Is it flipping sunset? What is that? I don't know. I don't know what that is, but it's a show. I never watched it before. Something about the ocean. I think it's something like Selling Sunset. I don't know. I think that's a Bravo channel. Whatever it is, I never watched it. So I don't even know what show it is. And I can't even see that small writing underneath there to tell what it is. But if y'all know what it is, y'all know what it is. Good for you. And then there's Avery from The Mole. So I think it's a really interesting batch of people. Um, I found it interesting that they were keeping some people from the same show not on the same, same team, but then some people they put on the same team, like QT and Siobhan from the Circle were together, but then Avery and Tony, both from the Mole, two different seasons, but separate. Lorenzo and Trey from the Squid Game Challenge, separate. It was interesting. It was interesting to see that. But they come in, everybody's, like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" Trying to meet each other, and they have no time to waste. They meet their the host comes in and he's like, "Hey, let's get ready for our first challenge. Put on your bathing suits and let's get ready for our first challenge." So they go to the first challenge, and it is you have to collect a flag at four different obstacles. So you had the floating platforms for the first obstacle. The next one, you had to pick up heavy weights and find your flag under, like, it was like you had 4 weights to choose from, and then you had to find your flag from the weights. Then it was, swimming of some sort. But you had to collect flags, and then the last one was rowing, getting the flag, and swimming across to the finish line and put your flag on the pole and put it up the pole. And the first team to get there would put it with all their flags and hoisted all their flags, they win. And so everybody's off and doing their thing and trying to, um, you know, pretty much make it. And it was, it was, um, it was pretty even for some points, but then it was like not even close after, like Tony got to the what he needed to do, and he kind of went through it really fast, finding his flags, and um, everybody was doing pretty well in the especially with the Eagles group, the Eagles tribe, the Red tribe. They were doing really well. They had a great lead. Um, they got to the point where Lorenzo was going to be the last person. He had to row out, grab the flag, jump off, and then swim to the end to, you know, hoist the flags. Lexi is the person right before him. She has all the flags that was given to her. She gives them to Lorenzo, and then she forgets to unclip, well, take off the flag. She took off the flag that was by the boat where Lorenzo was at, and then it dropped into the water. And so Lorenzo takes off without one of the flags. And so he gets his in, he like a long way before everybody else. Um, but he gets to his checkpoint, grabs his flag, he's off and running, off and swimming, and he gets to the end, hoists it, and tries to look for his flag, and he's one flag short. He can't find the flags. He's like, "Where's the flag? Did you give me all the flags?" And he was like, "Did you lose one?" So Lexi thinking he lost one. He's like, "No, because all the flags you gave me were clipped together like this, and I have all of those, and da da da." And so then by the time they realized that they were missing a flag, Louis had come in and raised his flag, and then Gio behind him to raise their flag, and which means Louis and the Wolves are immune from elimination, and the Bears are not immune for elimination, but they're not last. The Eagles team are last, which means all of them are up for elimination. And we will talk about the elimination in just a second and how that works. But Lexi is the reason for the loss, and Tony is pissed, and he is not going to let her forget that she is the reason for the loss. He's annoyed, he's upset, he's just mad because he doesn't like losing. This is horrible for him. He hates it. Ugh, so annoying. And so he's mad, and he's just mad. So now he's mad, and now he's on a mission. Tony is now on a mission. His whole mission now is to get Lexi out. And because he's like, she is the weakest link for us. We don't need weak links on our team. We have to do it. We have to do it. Now, Lorenzo and Georgia are kind of like, what? Already, like, already we are flipping on our team? What? What do you mean? Hello? Can we not do that? And so, but he's like, nope, mm-mm, she gotta go. She is the weakest link to our team. I don't want her here. It's just that. And so then we find out about this punishment that they have to do. With the winning team, which are the Wolves, will go to the hut and they will decide three people to participate in a punishment. And um the person who wins the punishment is safe for, well, who does not go up automatically for elimination, and the two losing people will automatically be put up for elimination as well. Um, so let's talk about this elimination first. Let me talk about the format and how this works. This triggered me so much when they told us what the how the format was for the elimination. It's literally a wheel, luck, chance, and if you lose the challenge, your team, the whole team will automatically go on this wheel once. Your name will be on the wheel. If you lose the punishment, your name will go on the wheel. So even if you were on the losing team, your name can go on the wheel more than once. You can have your name on the wheel multiple times. The more times your name was on the wheel, the more chances you will probably be the one headed out. Um, and so you're basically trying not to get your name on the wheel at all, or at least not multiple times. That is what you hope for. And so, like we said, the red team, the Eagles, are on the wheel already once. And so then we see the punishment, and the punishment is squats, like literally, like you're back against a tree trunk, and you have to squat down and stand in that position, and whoever holds that position the longest wins. So the three people that I mean, that the Wolves picked to do this punishment was Avery, Geo, and Lexi. Avery was beside herself. She did not understand why she got picked. She didn't know why. She doesn't want people to think she is strong, even though she says she is, but she doesn't want that threat level on her. Um, and but she doesn't want to have her name on the board. And it's like she's just like beside herself. She can't believe it. She can't believe that she has to do this punishment. But they do the punishment, and Lexi drops out first, and it's between Avery and Geo. And then Geo finally drops, and Avery wins the challenge. So her name doesn't go on the board for punishment, but Geo and Lexi does. So that Lexi has another point against her. So her name is on there twice at this moment. And so then we do see Tony going around talking to people, telling people like, "Hey, hey, hey, you need to vote for Lexi. This is we're doing this. You should do this. You should join us." Blah blah blah. Other people are going around saying Avery is a threat. She just won that challenge. She's strong. Maybe we don't need to keep her. It could be that something isn't right. And so we then go to the votes, and the votes is another way to get your name on the wheel. If you have votes against you, every vote you have is your name on a slot on the wheel. So I there personally was triggered because I'm like, Will never have liked me in games that I've played. And so I don't like this. I don't like a wheel being the end all be all for my game. And I'm sure that's how all of them felt. Like, couldn't it be a challenge? Couldn't it be? And as a viewer, I'm like, I don't mind it. Even though I'm slightly triggered, it's like I don't mind it. But I'm sure as a player, you're like, this is ridiculous because this wheel just does whatever it wants to do, and I just have to accept it. And it's like, yeah, yeah, you do. You just have to. You just have to accept it. But it's crazy. So we see the votes, and the host calls everybody up one by one to see if you got any votes against you and how many places your name will take up on the wheel. And we see Avery go up, and her name goes, and she gets a vote, she gets another 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 vote, and she gets another vote. So Avery goes from not having her name on the wheel to having her name on the wheel 7 times. And so they're like, she's like literally like, I don't know what to stand. I'm getting punished for being strong. I don't like this. This is so unfair. And so then Lexi goes up, and she already has 2 votes already, but she gets another vote. She gets another vote. She gets another vote. She gets another vote, and she gets another vote. So Lexi also has 7 votes. So her name is on the board 7 times total. And it is going to come down to a luck of the draw, spin of the wheel, and whoever it lands on first. And we see the wheel spinning, and that is how we get episode 1 left off. So we go right into episode 2, and we start off right where we left off. We see the wheel spinning, spinning, and it lands on Lexi. And Lexi's gone. Just like that. Just like that. Lexi's gone. I was like, oh, wow. Wow. And she, of course, she's sad, but she understands, like, her mistake cost her, and it was what it was. She kind of just left, like, all right, whatever, sure. Um, so everybody goes back to their camps, and people are really like, oh wow, it feels real now. Like the game is really real. We actually sent somebody home. It sucks. Da da da. All of those things. And Tony walks back into the camp with Lorenzo and Georgia, and he's like, "Oh my gosh!" Oh, you guys, this was great. This worked out perfect. And they're like, "What? What is wrong with you? Like, are you okay? Like, we just lost a hello?" And he's just like, "Look, we get a chance to strengthen our team now. She was obviously the weakest link. Obviously. Obviously. So we can strengthen our team now. Yeah. Yeah." And they're like, "Oh my God, okay. All right." So George is like, this man, if he was so easily willing to do that to Lexi, he would do it to me in a heartbeat. So for as far as right now, I'm gonna trust him as a team, but mm, I'm looking at him. I'm looking at him and I'm gonna keep my eye on him. And I was like, you better. And you should, because this man, what? Like off the jump, you like forget my team. Screw you. Don't care. I'm here for my 200 million dollars. Not $200 million. They wish $200,000 prize. I don't need to be nice. I'm here for the money. And if I got to get rid of Lexi, then she gotta go. And it was just like, okay, all right, all right, yeah. So I mean, and it was just as quick as they went to bed, as quick as they woke up, and we had somebody new knocking on the door, and it was Polly, and she comes in to replace Lexi, and they're pretty happy with her for the moment. They don't, the Lorenzo and Georgia and Tony like, hey, it's good to meet you, it's nice to see you, and so they talk for a minute before they go um, meet. Go meet everybody else at breakfast, and of course she knows Gio because her and Gio work on the same show. It's a realtor show, so they do houses together, and they made a lot of money toward gave made each other a lot of money, so they're very happy. And so when he sees her, he's excited to see her. She's excited to see him, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is so great!" They're like, "We're like family, yeah." And I'm like, "Ooh, that could be trouble." That could be trouble. But we'll see how it works. We'll see how this turn out. Um, so they didn't have a whole lot of time because they had to get ready for the challenge. And they were told to pick one person to have an important role in the challenge. So the Bears picked QT, The Wolves picked Trey, and the Eagles picked picked Georgia. So when the Wolves were picking Irina, they wanted Irina to do it, and she was kind of like, "No, I don't think I'm good enough for this. No, I don't think I could do it. I think one of you should do it. I don't know. I don't." And I was like, "I think you can do it." And she was like, I don't think I could do it. Trey, you sing good. You can communicate well. You should do it. You should be the leader. I don't want to. I can't do it." And so that kind of made everybody like, look at her sideways for a minute because it's like, "What do you mean? You don't even know what the challenge is, and you're already saying, 'I can't do it. I don't think I could do it.'" So, but they're like, "Oh, okay, fine, whatever." So Trey does it, and so when they get to well, the 3 people who were picked has to go to the hut, which is the place where everybody goes to make the big decisions on who does the punishment. And then the rest of the campers go to the wall, which is this multifunctional wall setting that they have that they're going to do multiple challenges on at this wall throughout the season. So I think I'm like, oh, okay, that's a really multifunctional wall. I love that. Love the idea. But for this one, they had to walk out on these planks, and the people in the hut were going to be asked a question like who has the biggest ego or who is the biggest who's the most attractive or who's the better ally or things like that. Those are the questions that they had to ask, and if the team people who were on the planks, you had to now guess who they think the person would say, and then pass the person who they think is the right answer the flag. And whoever has the right answer, the plank will drop, that person will drop. And if they drop with the flag, they get the point. If they drop with no flag, no point. Um, and so we get all the questions with, like I said, the allies, the most who's the most attractive and who has the biggest ego and blah blah blah. We see Tony take the one for biggest ego for the Eagles. And of course, Georgia would say he has the biggest ego because he does. For the Bears, QT said Geo. They guessed Geo. And for the Wolves, they guessed Louis. And Irena said, "No, it might be me." And he was like, "Was it ego?" He said, "What? You think, why would you, what?" And she's like, "I think it," and he's like, "No, I think it's me." And then she's like, "No, I mean, because," she eventually said it was her. And she took the flag, and it was Louis. Favorite guess Louis. So, for attractive, they were going to give to the Wolves said Louis. They thought Trey would say Louis, but Trey said Gabby, which I'm like, yeah. Why would you not say Gabby? Why would you think Trey would think Lewis is attractive when Trey? Okay. Um, and then when they did attractive for the Eagles, the red team, Tony said, "Give it to me." Lorenzo was like, no. Gabby, Georgia would not say you. And he was like, "Dude, come on, give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me." And Georgia is there like, "Don't give it to him. He is not attractive to me. He is not the most attractive to me. I think Lorenzo was more attractive." And he was like, "Dude, give it to me." So Lorenzo was like, "Okay, fine." And of course, it was Lorenzo because Georgia and Lorenzo had been bonding and had conversations with each other in the hot tub, and they have a great friendship. Of course, she's gonna think that Lorenzo is more attractive than Tony in his big, bullish, apish, just bullish self. She likes Lorenzo. She thought Lorenzo was cuter. And Tony could not believe it. He was just like, "What? What? Like, dude, I check my stuff out every day." Like, no, that's ego. That has nothing to do with attractiveness. And that has nothing to do with who finds you attractive. Georgia does not find you attractive. Suck it up. It's just it. Um, and QT said Avery, but they guessed Geo. Um, then it was like best ally. QT picked Shuby, and Shuby was correct. Avery was like, "We not even finna rethink this. Shubham is you. It's you." And he was like, "You sure?" She's like, "It's you. Don't think about it. Take it." She was right. Georgia thought Tony was going to snatch it away from Lorenzo again, so therefore she didn't say Lorenzo. She said Tony, but then this time Tony was like, "No, he Lorenzo, it's you, it's not me." I'm like, "Oh, just so you think you're trying to play Tony's game and you're in his head, it, you find out it's not much in there in the first place." Oh, crazy. So it's Lorenzo, but Tony has the flag. And Lorenzo was like, I don't understand. No, Tony is the one that drops, but Lorenzo has the flags. And Lorenzo's like, why would she say that? That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand why. And so George is freaking out because she's like, oh, why would she do that? She's like, I should have said Lorenzo. I should have went with my first mind. I should have did that. And then Trey says Louis, and it was Louis is right because Trey and Louis were tight. Um, so the Bears end up winning this challenge. And so now they have to go and pick pick three people who they're going to be in the punishment. And they picked Irina, Georgia, and Lorenzo. And the punishment is an ice bath. You just have to sit in this ice bath the longest. Whoever sits in there the longest wins. And if they stay in it over for 5 minutes, then you have to put your face in the water. And they all stayed in to the 5 minute mark. That was fine. And then they had to put the face in. And then Irina comes up first. And it's a showdown between Lorenzo and Georgia. And Lorenzo comes up right before Georgia comes up. So Georgia wins. Yay. Good on you, Georgia. She wins. Therefore, her name does not have to go on the board, but Lorenzo and Irina's name is on the board. Um, Irina already having her name on the board once is now having it a second time, and then with the rest of her team, and then Lorenzo. So after everyone is back at the camp, Irina's kind of just like, "Ugh, I'm checked out for a second. I can't. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it." She's very upset because she really, really wanted to win that punishment. She really wanted to win, so she didn't have to have her name on the board another time. So she goes in and pretty much like goes to sleep. She doesn't want to talk. She doesn't talk to anybody. Um, and in that moment, during that time, we see people trying to figure out who they want to vote for. And the only name that is really coming out at this point is Irina because of some of the things that she said. Like Irina had a tendency of sitting with the people and making jokes that don't land. They were kind of mean. Um, they were kind of rude and pessimistic and passive aggressive, and they just didn't land. And people just didn't like how her comments, her little snide comments and things like that. And so it was kind of, and that this has been going on since the beginning. Like people have been saying things about Irina this entire time. And then it was like, okay, mm, I don't know. I don't, I don't really know. I don't really know. Um, so we see after she does get her sleep and calms down and gathers her things, she tries to come out and try to come back into the conversation. But before she could even do that, everybody had pretty much made their decision that it's probably going to be her that they were voting for whatever reason. Like for everybody else, it was her attitude, they didn't like the way she did that. And for her own teammates, it was like she's the weakest link. We probably need to just cut it because the train is coming and everybody's voting her. We don't need to be the ones not. Which in this case, I'm like, hello. What do you mean? If the train is coming and the wind is blowing, you can't stop the train, but that don't mean you have to jump on board with the train. You do what you let the train pass you by and be like, but we got you, girl. It and it was Trey who was like, yo, if we do this, we're gonna have to blindside her. We can't tell her. And I was like, no. No, not that it has anything to do with a jury. I don't think it has anything to do a jury or anything of their peers coming back. I just don't. I just like in this situation, why why gang up on it? You know what I mean? Why add to the fuel? Why not just let it be what it is going to be and let the other people vote for it? Like she's going to have her name on the vote. You all decide who else that name could go up there and y'all stick as a team, but have her back just in case she doesn't go home. Like you have to protect yourself just in case because it's still a will and anybody's name is up there. It will maybe not be you. It may be somebody else. So you just have to, I just didn't agree with the whole blind side of it all. Like, don't tell her. It was just wild and weird to me that they decided to do that. But after they all go in to vote, and Irina has been trying. She was trying to talk to people, asking them what they were going to vote for, and they would kind of not say things. They would talk around it and not particularly say who they were or weren't going to vote for. It was just like we just got to stick with our, our guts and go with our energy, see how we feel, blah blah blah. All kind of bull crap, like all kind of bull crap. And so after they contemplated on doing it, they decided to go on and do it. And along with them, we had Louis got a vote, Gabby got a vote, Trey got a vote, and Irina had a vote. Um, but then and Lorenzo had a vote because he lost the punishment. But every other vote was Irina. Her vote, her name was on that board 13 times. And she was flabbergasted, blindsided, just hurt, like as I would have been, I would have been like, and she started apologizing to the wolves, like, I'm so sorry I couldn't be better. I'm so sorry I couldn't be stronger. I'm so sorry I couldn't do that. And I was like, oh my God. No, girl, you don't have to be sorry. You do not have to be sorry. They did this to you. You didn't do this to them. Like, oh my God. Trey was the reason they lost. Like he didn't pick the right people, or all of y'all to blame because y'all picked the wrong people. I don't know. I just didn't feel like this was Irina's fault, but I also didn't feel like they needed to do it this way. It was kind of, mm, mm, I don't, yeah, no, I didn't like that. And the guilt that came when they saw her name on the board through all those many times and knowing they were part of it, Gabby was almost inconsolable. She was crying, Trey was crying, Louis was crying. It was just like, we should have did that. We shouldn't have did like they were so like, oh my God. And Irina was like, I just I don't want to do this. And she just walks away. She just walks off. She just walks off. And I was like, oh, oh. And that's how they left it for episode 2. She just walks off. And we see the host go to follow behind her and try to talk to her. But that's the only thing we see is them walking off. And I was like, oh, oh. And in that moment, I was like, well, I need to start episode number 3. So I can see but I didn't. Well, I did. I watched 3 and 4 so because I gotta get ready for tomorrow. So but that's where we are right now for episode 1 and 2. I will be back maybe by myself, maybe with someone else on tomorrow, and we will talk about episodes 3 and episodes 4. But like I said, y'all, I really am enjoying this. I think it's such a fun, light show that doesn't require a lot of like brain space. I can watch it, I can enjoy it, and have a good time. And I kind of like talking about it. So I'm excited for this. I can't wait to come back and talk about the rest of the episodes 3 and episodes 4. If you're enjoying the show, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Battle Camp. And I'm gonna get in episodes 3 and 4 tomorrow. I really, really appreciate you joining me and taking the time to watch me talk about another show. And we're gonna keep doing it. We're just gonna keep doing it because that's what we're here to do, and that's what I love to do, and that's what I am working so hard to do, is to give you all the best content that I could give you and that everybody here on this Cup Network can give you. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done it. Like I said, we are on our mission to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year so we can unlock a lot of fun things that we can do on the channel after that. So help us out, get us to 1,000 subscribers. We really, really appreciate you. Um, Take the time to like, share, do all those things to this video. Let me know in the comments what you think about Battle Camp, if you're enjoying it, if you care. Follow us on all of our other channels. All the links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links, our Patreon, our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. And you can follow me at all of those platforms as well. Um, that's my Instagram right there. My Twitter, X is whatever. Twitter and Blue Sky is down there, and TikTok. So check me out on all of those platforms. Follow us on at the Cup Pod, and we are also get your merch. Don't forget your merch at monajescreations.etsy.com. I'm gonna get out of here because got more episodes to watch. So I will see you all tomorrow. Cheers, y'all. Bye.